Well, good afternoon. You are tuned in right now on the hour of 26 minutes past 3 with Yolanda Singh on the Encounter Me slot. And today I'm excited because I'm getting what I want. I'm getting all my favorite people on air with me. And like always at Agape FM, we're bringing the gospel nearer to you. And it's all about Jesus. It's all about the love of God. And it's all about how he uses who he created us as man to be. I am seated opposite my brother. I'm trying to contain myself because you do not know how I begged him. I literally paid him to come on here. I'm joking. But I'm sharing the platform this afternoon with Maverick Coltman. Maverick, do you have anyone that you want to say hi to before we get into this?
Wow, that might just take the whole interview, but I'll keep it short.
Yeah.
I just want to greet my wife, Eridine, who's probably listening to this now. And yeah, I've got too many people going, but it's good to be here.
Okay, I was just about to say, don't say too much about Eridine because I'm actually hoping to have Eridine on air in August. Definitely. So Eridine, while you're listening, just prepare your yes because I'm not taking a no for that fact. Your husband is here and he said she will be here. She will be here. So today, thank you for tuning in. It's a beautiful Thursday in the beautiful city of Port Elizabeth, now known as Gqeberha. And we have listened to the newsboys before we had the other one speaking about surfaces. I am excited, so let us get into Maverick's short biography. Maverick Coltman grew up in the northern areas or northern suburbs of Gqeberha, formerly known as Port Elizabeth, and still resides in the city. He is inspired daily by his wife. She better have that brownies ready. And his son. In his free time, Maverick likes to hike, read, cook, play video games, and spend meaningful time with loved ones. Okay, so I just need to put this one in the bag there, right? No, I'm not going to put it in the bag. Let me carry on. Maverick is a dynamic worshiper and walks tall in the knowledge of God's unconditional love for humanity. Maverick loves creating sound and beats through the worship of drums as it is his instrument of choice. Maverick is the lead photographer and owner, now you don't know how proud I am, owner of Maverick Coltman Photography based in Gqeberha, South Africa. Please do go on to the Facebook page of Maverick Coltman Photography to go see and look at his work. I'm telling you, they specialize in weddings and portrait photography. I'm pretty sure he can probably do anything if you'd ask me. Having done photography professionally for 6 years, he fell in love with the craft because it has the power to capture a single moment in time and show the world something that might otherwise go unnoticed. Beautiful. The main goal is to elate all of their clients with stunning imagery. I must make sure my English is right because this man is on key opposite me. And I'm telling you, the look, those that are watching on Facebook will be able to see that will last for the test of time, all while forming relationships that will do the same. Maverick photography is a good and powerful thing, a powerful force in this field of photography, and he uses it with positive attitude and tireless energy to create an enjoyable, memorable experience for his clients. And I'm wondering now, unfortunately, my husband is night shift, so he's not listening in. But the advantage that I have is I'm definitely going to put this interview again later on my wall if you miss it even now. He believes, Maverick that we are the workmanship of God, and photography has broadened his perspective of this truth. Ladies and gentlemen, loved ones and family of Gqeberha FM. Today it's an absolute pleasure, and I'm so excited to see and hear what today's interview would hold with Maverick Coltman. Good afternoon again, Maverick.
Good afternoon, Yoli, and to your listeners and to the viewers, good afternoon to you guys.
So, just in case for those who do not know, my nickname is Yoli, Yolo, whatever. So he calls
Did I
me
just
Yoli.
expose you?
Yes, you just exposed me. So, Maverick, please do indulge us. Talk to us. Who's Maverick?
Well, let me first say that if I go home later and my wife doesn't give me the same intro, I'm walking back out. Because that was just,
Okay,
that
okay.
was like, wow. I'm just sitting there like, is that me? Well, Yoli, what's there to say? You said so much. I grew up in PE. I love the city. You and I have a long history.
Sure.
We worshiped together a lot back when I was still playing drums avidly.
And I'm still praying that you would come back because it's just something else.
It's
Boom. Boom.
It is my first love,
Yeah.
so I can foresee that happening. But yeah, I'm a father to a 2-year-old.
Wow.
Husband of going on 6 years now, and I'm still enjoying that very much.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm just here enjoying life, just doing what I think God is meant for me to do.
Wow. Talk to me. Siblings?
Yeah, I got a sister and 2 brothers.
Are they tuned in?
I am not sure. I hope they.
We will have to
listen,
sort this thing out that the
we
people
need
are.
to.
Please, we must
need
make sure
to.
of that, eh? We must make sure of that. So, sister and a brother.
Yeah,
So
2
you're the
brothers.
eldest.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Mom, dad.
Yeah, mom, dad passed away when I was still very young, 2 years of age. I
Wow.
lost my dad, so I didn't really know him, but I know of him, and of course, I've only heard great things. So, yeah, but my mom was basically, she played the role of both growing up. So,
Oh, I remember your mom.
Yep.
She didn't take any.
no, still like that.
Still
like
walk
that.
the straight and narrow?
Still that.
Yes, that's your mom. That's your mom. Just like I know her. Maverick, I met you as a drummer, as we've shared earlier on. And oh, what a wonderful journey as we reflect on that. Talk to us. How did you fall in love with music?
The more I tell the story, the more I think people probably think I'm lying, but music in particular, that has always been part of my life growing up. I had uncles. We grew up in a household with a large family, so everybody would have their own taste in music, which really diversified mine. But when it comes to drumming in particular, I remember going to church at a very young age with an uncle of mine. I think I was like 6 years old, was definitely in primary school. And this one Sunday, every Sunday I would just sit next to the drummer and just watch him. I was never really allowed to touch the drums. And this one Sunday, he just didn't show up.
Wow.
And the worship team started getting on stage, everybody started singing, and I just got behind the drums and I could play. No practice, nothing whatsoever.
I wish you could feel the goosebumps that I'm getting right now.
Yeah, so I just started getting better. The more I did it, I became like the main drummer sort of for the church. It was Pastor Martin Williams. He still operates right now. So
Yes.
So that was like years back in his church. So yeah, and then for a few years I left it until I came back to the faith again. Or until I gave my life to the Lord. When you're little, you just do things as a tradition. Your family goes, so you go. So I gave my life to the Lord, and then I started falling in love with drumming again. Yeah, and that's how we met.
Yeah. Explain to me that, the falling in love with the drums when you was it a different connection that got you with drums?
Man, it was so, it's almost like my steps were really aligned because I was friends with gamers, and, we visited each other. And I remember this one time in particular, the one friend of mine, he had another guy, Alan, visiting his niece.
Are we talking about the same Alan?
We're talking about the same
Alan Sampson. I hope that you're going to be tuning in.
That's the one. So through Alan, I met Elton, the keyboardist.
I don't want to call his nickname on here.
Yeah, let's stick to
Elton. Elton.
So yeah, and then I started going to church with them, also just for the drums.
Sure.
And I would go to practice with them, just watch the drums, just check what the drummer did at that time. Yeah, and then I just started getting behind the drums, getting the feel for it again,
Sure.
and I completely sucked. I won't lie. Yeah, it
Wow.
was terrible, but the more I did it, the better I got. I started going to other meetings other than practice. I went to youth meetings with
Yeah.
them, to church services with them, and yeah, I just had this beautiful encounter with the Lord on one youth evening. I still remember Elton, also a minister who lives in PE, Elton Arnold's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was still doing the service that evening. And I had this undeniable encounter with the Lord, and I haven't turned back ever since. That was like
Sure.
2010, 2009, 2010. Yeah, and I've been
Sure.
practicing my faith ever since.
Sure.
So,
You know, this might sound biased for me to say, but it's something that I've always observed, and I still am able to observe with your life. As a young man, you always projected a unique discipline. The way you would carry yourself, whether it is behind your kit or in jail, you had this unique discipline about yourself. A orderly conduct. You are one of those young men that I would be able to put. Ladies, do not kill me. Gents, do not kill me. Pastors, don't shout me. Don't drown me, please. It's just an example, just to let you know. But I would be able to say confidently, I could leave you in a company of any form, great, wild, outspoken, outgoing, party life. I could leave. You are one of the young men that I got to know that I would be able to live in any atmosphere knowing that you have your packaged, sealed.
wow.
How did you get to that?
That is so incredibly kind of you to say, and yeah, I'm very appreciative of it. I don't know per se like when it started or how I got it, because if I think back, especially during my school years when I got to high school, I was very ill disciplined when it came to studies and homework and all of that stuff. So I can't really pinpoint a time in history when the discipline
Actually
started
happened,
picking
yeah.
up. But I do remember it being recognized in church circles when it came to word study, when it came to anything in particular, when it came to practices. And I think somebody who really, really helped me hone that discipline in was Godfrey Nolans. Once I started like being under his leadership and his leading, he really honed in on the stuff, on the strengths that I have. So even if I didn't recognize it before, he would really kind of point it out and say, okay, this is how you can kind of take it up a notch.
Sure.
Make sure you keep your word. Small stuff, make sure you're on time. Even if you don't get it back, even if you expect it from anyone and don't get it back, make sure that you don't drop the plot in these areas.
Sure.
And up until today, I can say that that really helped me in many instances, whether it be at work, whether it be in my relationship with Redeem, whether it be even now as a father, that really, really helped me. So if I pick up any sort of discipline, if I make a decision to pick up reading or work on my drumming, I employ the same kind of attributes. I employ the same kind of discipline, in any area of my life, really. So, yeah.
Wow. You know what is significant? I'm not sure if you can remember. Something just popped up at me now. It's usually we would practice on a Sunday and on a Tuesday. And then and when we would practice, it would not necessarily be for an event. We would really get together those 2 days in a week just to worship. And there was one evening, I don't know if you can remember, we were busy with the song, Take Me to That Place, Lord, to that secret place. But before we got to practicing that song, in our prayer, you started playing a drum beat. And while you were playing a beat, Ellen started doing the bass tune and sound to that beating. And I think that was the significant evening where I recognized how and I think I mentioned it to you at the AFM church one day at a youth conference where I shared, you have the ability to play drums, but it's actually giving back to us the sound of God's heart. I don't know if you can remember.
Wow.
And you were playing that beat, and I wrote the song out of that beat. This is the lyrics that came. Who is like the Lord? Nobody tell me who is like the Lord. And Ellen went with what you were playing, and later on all the musicians, and we just climbed onto that wave and we just went with it. And for me, Maverick, musically, it's not always where I find drummers that would be able to articulate what they hear and put it out in the earth. And that is on your drumming. Now, you then grew into something else, before I go into that. So he mentioned, and as we mentioned, he's married to Eridine. We will talk to Eridine when she comes on air, because I don't want to say anything about her in her absence. Well, I just want to say that the following. Eridine, you stole my drummer, hey? But anyway, let me get back to this thing, because she's going to get me in an inbox. I'm pretty sure of that. But you met Eridine and then got married, and then you fell in love with photography. How do the two get together, drumming and photography? What happened?
That wasn't something I could foresee happening. No, it really wasn't. I'll tell you how it happened. I always had an eye for making videos and editing. I don't know if you remember, I did a few for our stuff as well. I know Gershwin did most of it, but sometimes I would play around, but they never took it really seriously. But when I moved into, first a granny flat and then a flat, I could never take my drums along, so I could never really work on that craft,
So you had to pick up something else.
I had to pick up something else.
Wow.
And the natural, the direction I was already going in besides drumming was kind of like design, taking photos, other people's photos, and try and make them better and so. So yeah, I looked into filmmaking, I looked into photography a bit. And then when I bought my first camera, I just did it for fun. I just did it, and I became better, and people started seeing that and kind of responded to, wow, it's so nice. And yeah, I just worked on that craft ever since. I never saw it as a career until I got like paid offers. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I can do something, with this. And yeah, I still had a full-time job at that stage, so I could never really delve into it too much. But I took the time that I had, and I kind of honed in on that skill and, learned to do more with it. I was always curious, how does this person do this thing? Research it on YouTube or whatever, then I'll try it for myself. And yeah, since I think 2014 until now was, I've come far with that craft.
I've went on to, every time when you load work, I don't necessarily comment, because I don't like the fact that my phone would have a buildup of notifications because everyone is commenting. So what I would rather do is just drop a heart, just to let you know, brother, I'm also looking and checking out this well here and happening here and so on. Just to let you know, I am still watching you, But I always marveled at, because it's you, it's Graham, and it's Aldrich that I personally know as photographers, but your work would have, there's just a unique signature that you bring to it. You would think about something that I was like, wow. That to me, where do you get that inspiration from?
I think that is the best compliment you can give any creative, that the work stands out a bit. So thank you for that. Yoli, I think that is a accumulation of many things. Like, I see what I like, and I like a lot of things when it comes to photography. Sometimes it will be composition based, sometimes it will be editing based, sometimes it will be how the photographers deal with their clients, and I just combine everything and make it my own,
Sure.
And I think the more I do it, the more I can kind of hone in on that skill, and the more I can refine it so that it does become mine. And I've only heard this recently. You were like the second person in a short space of time who has told me that. So I think I'm on the right track, and
Oh,
I'm gonna
yes.
I'm gonna try and keep it there,
Wow.
until it's like entirely like okay, right. You can my work is like indistinguishable or it is distinguishable from other people. So
Yes.
yeah,
And we should be unique in whatever we do.
yeah.
I always say, even though I am someone that has the ability to sing, I don't choose to be or sound like anyone else but myself, because my voice has its own unique
Mm,
way of being carried. So in that regard, with photography, I must commend you, Maverick Photography. You are doing an exceptional job.
thank you so much.
For someone that has just shared and you know what I like about this young man sitting opposite me is he will be so humble. He's always been like this. I've never seen him snobbish, obnoxious, or rude. This has always, I can't even remember, I don't even think we ever had an argument, because he doesn't give you room to get angry. He's just so cool, calm, and collective. So yeah, Maverick, we are. I don't like the clock, because this clock is telling me it's 46 minutes after the hour of 3, and we have been allocated a certain time. And I do know the 2-year-old is waiting for his father at the daycare. So before the wife pings the phone, I'm on you, Eridine, today. I would really like Maverick to tell us. In your biography, you say we are the workmanship of God. So creative in that. Does that play a role? The fact that we are so unique. I mean, I've seen some of your work, and it's not that you are going only for the number 6 ladies when it comes to singles, photo shoots
Yeah.
and stuff. You somehow make it look like ek het lus vir die ding, man.
Yeah.
Ek wil ook gesnoet hê. Tell me, talk to us. How?
Yoli, I think a decision I made long ago is to not have like a blanket approach because we are so unique.
Wow.
So I would try and kind of talk to, whenever I have the opportunity, or would try and talk to my clients before we do the shoot to kind of get a sense of who they are, Do
Wow,
they like
that's awesome.
being very formal? Do they like, having this
That's
openness?
awesome.
And I consider myself an introvert. Eridine kind of helped me out of that a little bit.
I was just about to say introvert.
Well, if it's someone I know,
Yeah.
I'll open up a bit more. But so I kind of understand where my clients are at, especially if they've never done a professional photo shoot before. They are it's terrifying, to be honest with you, because I myself don't like to be on the other end of the lens. It's terrifying because you don't know what to do.
Sure.
It's like this camera is constantly on you. So I try and have a unique approach to each of my clients. They are people, find out a bit more about them. If there's common interest, great. It's just normal, basic people skills. And that is the part of my job
Sure.
that I really, really love.
Sure.
So once we get out there, we already know a bit about each other, they're a bit more comfortable. And yeah, I get to pull some things out of them that they never thought that they would be able to do. And if they see the photos and happy, then I'm happy.
So you are doing this photography full time now.
Yes, that's right.
How do you make something? How did you get to the point where it was, if I can put it like that, it was once a hobby? Or something that a discipline, I like the word that you said, it's a discipline that you picked up. How did it become part of who you are? And what are the benefits in it?
Would you like me to elaborate how it became a full-time job now?
Yes.
Okay. So, I've worked at MAN. It's my former workplace. I really love the job I do. It was simple. It wasn't too much of a challenge. But I'm a creative by nature. So I will always find something creative to do. And I've been working there for 7 years. And while working there, like I've mentioned earlier, I've started to build this photography thing up,
Sure.
started to get more clients. There was one thing that I could never do, and it's take on big work, like weddings, that will require you to be there 12 hours, that will require you to be available when the couple needs you to be available, and not have something else go on the side.
On the side.
Yeah. And I could never really do that. And I've had chats with my wife. I've checked the feasibility of it, because at the end of the day, you've got responsibilities that you
Yes.
need to, you need to sustain yourself and your family. So many things have transpired. I don't really want to delve into it, but it kind of came to a head. I got a long break away from work, and I really had some time to think about it and pray about it. And we had the chat, and yeah, earlier this year in February, I think, we just decided that it was time in the midst of the pandemic, mind you.
Wow.
But I must say, despite that, God has really been good. I've got some business. It's been 6 months down the line now, I think. Yeah, almost. And yeah, so far so good. And I have this thing in my mind. I've heard it a while back, and it's always stuck with me. And it says, start before you're ready. Because it's like whenever you're gonna wait to be ready, it's a goal that is always fleeting. You know, you're always gonna push it further back, further back, further back. Because what does
Whoa,
it
whoa,
even
whoa,
mean
whoa. Sorry. Just say that again, because that there is just the golden key for today's slot. Start
before you're ready?
before, not when.
No,
Start before you're ready, because it will always be something that you keep on pushing back.
absolutely,
Wow. Wow.
absolutely. And I couldn't have made a better decision. I will say that there is again no blanket approach to this, because I've heard so many people say X amount of things you need to do before you leave your job for this, whatever, whatever. But we are also again so unique
Yeah.
and so different. But there's one, I find that to be like a universal principle.
Sure.
You know, start before you're ready. You will never have everything you want to have before you start, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Maverick, we have come to the hour of 52 minutes after 3. Start before you're ready. And that truth we can apply with basically anything in life. I am really so privileged and honored, and it is indeed a great honor for me to have you, across me today and on the Encounter Me where you are speaking. And to me, this is so unique, because the Encounter Me slot speaks of great opportunity for people to share their journey with God and how unique things has come out on their journey up until where they are now. And I'm pretty sure we will all be looking forward to way more. I don't want to dream on air for you, but I can envision and really it would be a tremendously proud moment to see major houses using your work for their companies and for business and even for media, because that is where I see you can grow into. And the advantage is you are in the prime of your youth. And I want to encourage young men today that no matter what happens, there's always a discipline that you can pick up, and you need to start before you are ready. I'm pretty sure even if I had to bring our station manager John out here today, the two of these young people, these young men, would actually cause a huge stir in the hearts of young men out there today, listening and tuning in, thinking that there's no other avenue. Even sometimes when a door of employment closes, look what's in your hand, and you'll be surprised that is what you can create something out of. And before we close down with what we need to end off today, Maverick, do you have any closing remark and encouragement for our listeners that are tuned in today?
Well, really something that has been in my heart, and this is now outside of the scope of photography. But yeah, I've been reading the scriptures lately, and something that really stuck with me, and I posted it yesterday on my socials, is that scripture that says, "Let us not love in word and tongue, but in
Sure.
deed and truth."
Sure.
So I just want to leave that with your listeners and your viewers. I think it is something that really encourages you to put this love that you profess into action
Wow.
while you still can.
Wow. And it's so funny that you'd mentioned that, because just before I got to studio today, I had a conversation with our sister Cheryl, and I said to her, sometimes we tend to think that the Bible is written for people out there, but the Bible is actually for us, and the word becomes alive in us there first. And your encouragement today is so profound that you say that we must take love and put it into deed.
Yes.
And I would like to end off today. Thank you once again, Maverick, for coming on air with me. And I'm privileged. I'm honestly privileged. And I'm pretty sure Eridine's going to agree with me that one day is one day where you'll share the platform on drums again. But you will be also Let me not get I don't like it. Yolanda, just draw it back, I'm drawing back, and I'm drawing back to John chapter 15 verse 7 that says, if ye abide in me and my words abide in you, then you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. Today on air we had Maverick Coltman, a young man that I profoundly find very intriguing. His composure is not only of calm nature, but as he says, he's a creative by nature. And that is taking after our Father indeed. And I want to bless you today with number 6 from verse 24 to 26. The Lord bless you, and he keeps us. He makes his face to shine upon us and be gracious towards us. The Lord lifts up his countenance over us as a people today and give us peace. Thank you once again for tuning in to Encounter Me with me, your host, Yolanda Singh, on the radio station that brings the gospel nearer to you. And please do keep yourself tuned in, because we have so many things still lined up, so many things coming through on air today. And today we will be going out with Anthony Brown and the group therapy singing Worth. God bless you. Have a beautiful Thursday. May the Lord be with us all.
What's up, everybody?
Amen.
This is Anthony Brown from Anthony Brown Group Therapy. And I'm so excited to debut for you my brand new single, Worth, from the new project, Everyday You. This song is so special to me because this song is all about love. It's all about the fact, the greatest love of a Savior that